Ladies and gentlemen, this is
Gentle what?
my. This is more of an adult, a more mature conversation. So this might not be suitable for the youth, children. Don't say I didn't warn you. Bye. Hello, a little note. We both have colds. There will be some coughing and some in this episode. Sorry, it's winter. What can we do? Anyway, hello, lovers, fans, casual viewers, and casual walker past people. It's Mimi here, the host of your favorite podcast, the Exploring Nollywood podcast. And with me is...
Tony's back, as always. You know what? Let's not even say Tony's back. I am now a co-host of the Exploring Nollywood podcast. You're welcome, guys.
Okay, so it's me, it's my co-host, and today we're here to talk about something juicy, something that we love.
Love it.
We love it so much.
Why do we love it so much?
I don't know.
That's actually a problem.
Yeah, we should probably think about that. But anyway, today we're here to discuss bad girls.
Oh,
doing
no.
bad things.
Say it again.
Bad girls.
Okay.
Bad girls. Yes.
You're a bad girl.
A bad.
Bad.
But we love this genre so much. It's called the runs girl genre.
Yes,
it's called the runs girl.
And I feel like we have to mention that you see it all the time. There's so many.
It is overwhelming.
It's prevalent.
You see?
Does it sound like a disease? Yes. Yes.
Okay, before we go any further, what is the runs girl genre, Antonia?
Let's have to define what a runs girl is.
The runs girl.
The runs girl. Now, if someone comes to you and says, "Oh, a runs girl is a prostitute," just slap them.
No.
Slap their dirty lying mouths, because that's not what a runs girl is.
A runs girl is more refined.
A runs girl is a step up.
She's more refined.
You won't find a runs girl in the street.
No, that's not what a runs girl does.
A runs girl is never where she's not supposed to be. A runs girl is always where she's supposed to be, where she needs to be, where she has been requested, where she has been called.
Exactly.
Whereas a prostitute we're not buzzing on sex work.
Okay, we're sex positive and sex worker positive on this podcast.
Okay, cool. However, we can't confuse the two. And we shouldn't confuse the two.
But a runs girl is basically a girl that does runs. And what are runs?
Chopping!
Sleeping with men for money.
Like,
you know?
I saw it defined in like this really weird article. I don't know where the dude was going with the article or what side he was on, because he prefaced the article by saying, "Oh, I don't like Nollywood films. However, here's a 2,000-word essay about this Nollywood film or these Nollywood films
you
that
must
I constantly
love
watch."
Nollywood.
That's okay.
Nothing irks me more than Nigerians that hate Nollywood.
So he called it an exploration of transactional relationships.
Oh, succinct.
I like it. That's exactly
that
what
is
it
the
is.
genre.
That's the genre. It's an exploration of transactional relationships between men and women, where usually the woman
between men and girls.
No, there's some girls that are
advanced in age.
You said it's not me. So the transactional relationship that will sometimes or most of the time occur between men and women, where the woman is the recipient of
the cash. The cash
is the woman is the one that's being paid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going to say the woman's the one that's winning in the relationship, but is she?
No, she's not.
She's really not. So that's why it's a transaction. Somebody is getting something, is given something, and getting something in return, and that works both ways. So is it the safest occupation? No. There's things that can go very wrong.
In fact, I would even say it has like a 90% mortality rate in these Nollywood films. Yes or no?
Sometimes they reform.
Most of the time they go mad or they die. Somebody catches HIV.
Yeah, I've written down here the consequences: get a disease / dies. Used for rituals.
Dies. What I'm saying?
Dies. Yes.
So okay, so you know what a runs girl is? She's someone engaged in this transactional relationship. Why in God's name does Nollywood love this genre?
Because it's easy.
It's easy to make.
Yes.
excuse you, all the fashion. You need to get the hot young girls. You need to get the old men.
Okay,
You need
the hot
setting.
young girls are everywhere.
No, that's true.
They're, no offense to the people that are big in Nollywood, but they're a dime a dozen. I'm sorry. You can get a hot chick that wants to, one, end, and two, looks like she ends on film. That's not
true.
That's, and again, it's easy to make because you will find these people. They don't have to be very good at the job that they're doing.
No. In fact, I've seen those so many.
Some of them are extras that are just there.
Yeah,
But technically still a runs girl. You need maybe one or two well-known people, maybe. And the rest of them can be extras. So it depends on it. I think it goes down to it depends on the quality of the film. So like take something like, you can't compare like just your standard runs girls film with all of these unknowns with like something like Gallant Babes.
Oh yes.
So
it's easy to make, but of course, and the genre, you don't really need to think all that hard.
No, you don't. You
don't.
think of, oh, runs girl. In this scenario where they're being runs girls, introduce Alhaji, chief, one politician, one other politician. They have this party that they're going to organize girl. It's so easy
to make. It is easy to make. You don't have to think about it. You just do it, and then
we love
easy
it to enjoy too.
Exactly, we love it. We
So
know
very easy.
exactly
It's not-
what is going to happen. This is the most predictable genre in Nollywood.
Very true.
We know exactly what is going to happen. In fact, sometimes maybe the guy and the girl die at the end in a romance film. You don't see that coming. But in a runs girls film, you know
A
exactly
chopper
how
will
it's
be
going.
there. There's a chopper. There's a choppy.
And the choppy will be chopped.
The choppy will be chopped.
Finish.
What
What does this
happen?
say about our psyche? I don't know. And let's just tiptoe around that.
No, we don't tiptoe here on this podcast.
Oh.
Because a lot of the times people see these women as, oh, they're gold diggers, they're doing this, they're doing that for money, or they're doing this for money, it's only for money. And I'm like, okay, but what does it say about you as a person that is paying for it?
Patronizing. Exactly. Oh.
So, yes, we don't want to go into like how we feel about sex work and all of that stuff. But most of these businesses will not exist without the patronage of men.
Yes. Okay.
And then men will see this as, oh, you won't survive without me. I'm like, okay, but you're the one that's still paying for it though. So
let's put on our Chimamanda Adichie hats and let's talk about the patriarchy. Because the patriarchy benefits from these Run Girls and these Run Girls movies. So all it is just teaching women that, oh, this is what you will do. You know, obviously when people watch these films, when we watch these films, we are not looking at, oh, the consequences are bad. We're looking at the fine things, the way the girls are dressed, the hair, the fashion, the glamour of it all. And in some ways, it is very attractive.
yes,
They make it attractive. Because a lot of us were brought up on these movies. In fact, let's even start from the very first movie made in English. We know that Living in Bondage was made in 1992. It was entirely in Igbo. What was the next movie made in English? Glamour Girls. Now, Glamour Girls is a runs. In fact, Glamour Girls, what is the template for runs girls movies? Glamour Girls is what we're just remaking Glamour Girls over and over and over until they made the official remake, which was it.
I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it, but it didn't have the iconic nature of the original Glamour Girls.
It's because, unfortunately, I mean, you have your notable people that were in it, like Insay. Obviously, Insay is going to act house down.
Yeah.
But then you don't have like those people that you now know as iconic. I think that's probably where you're coming from. Oh, so the main person that I can remember from Glamour Girls was Liz Benson. So I'm not going to see any movie that Liz Benson has been in and starred in and did well in and say that is not an iconic film.
But all I'm saying is that Glamour Girls basically wrote the formula, and then we have films like Domitila, which they are remaking. I think it's out. I don't know if it's out.
No, it's the release is 2023, so it might be out. I haven't seen anything for it though.
We're in the UK, we don't see anything. You know, you have the Domitilas. We just have these high profile films of runs.
Yes, so even the one that's most popular now is a whitey, a whitey.
If you're black, nothing for you. But if you're white, there's something for you. In the world, white is right, but black is wrong. If you're black, nothing for you. If you're white, there's plenty for you. Desperate babes on the prowl. in search of a white man.
If you're black, nothing for you. If you're white, there's something for
In
you.
a world where black is bad and white is good. Oh, whitey. That's a Runs Girl film.
Yeah.
Y'all might not know where it is, where it's from. It's become like popularized on TikTok and stuff like that, but you don't know what the
deep.
You don't know where it's come from.
Yeah, check our Instagram at the Exploring Nollywood podcast for an explanation and a perfect recapturing of that song. But even your favorite meme, your favorite meme maker, Pretty Little Liars, why are you running? Why are you running? That's a Runs Girl film. A very good Runs Girl.
Very, very good.
Very
Runs
good
Girl
Runs
film.
film.
And I feel like we need to separate it as well. Of like two separate types of film.
Two separate genres within the genre?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think, something like Pretty Little Liars, where these are just two girls. This is what they do. This is their business. You know? And then on the other hand, you have just Runs Girls in films.
Yeah. But I feel like none of these films actually explore what sex work actually is like, what might cause people to go into it.
Or what might cause people to go into it.
You know, I'm just saying
like, no, some of them definitely do.
So, okay, some of them do.
Then a lot of them will almost too graphically explore the consequences of that lifestyle of you've taken this job that you're doing, and now this is now your life
job. Yes.
Or goes into like how you can't get out of it, or it goes into like this is
the dangers of the work, what it does to your soul,
your psyche, and then it does. Some of them go into like actual exploitation of these girls. So it's not always like the glitz and the glamour that we're used to or that we enjoy. Some of them are, this is a cautionary tale.
I think all of them are cautionary tales, or are intending to be cautionary tales.
I mean, some of them have very happy endings, so how cautionary can they actually be?
I have never seen a Runs Girl with a happy ending.
The ones that fall in love, what happened to them?
Okay, that's a different genre of Runs Girls movie. See, we've already come with 3 different genres of Runs Girls movie. The one where they're, you know, like Sharon Stone, which is one of the Genevieve's earliest works, where she's a Runs Girl and, you know, she tries to be reformed. It's just Runs Girls movie. There's just so many.
There's different flavors of it.
Yeah. I've never really thought about how different. But
there's very different flavors of it. And then you find that some of them, they'll focus on one person, other ones they'll focus on the Runs Girl group and how they work and their group dynamics and who's on top this time, someone who's trying to get into becoming a Runs Girl, someone who's trying to get out of being a Runs Girl. So there's different...
They're different genres. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the typical characters that you find in a Runs Girl movie. Number 1,
the initiator.
I was gonna start with the initiator, but okay, let's start the initiator.
No. I think we start with the initiator because these are usually like
they're already in
the business,
and
they're the ones that are there to entice more.
And it's as if it's their work. It's their work.
Of course, yes.
I'm sorry, but you are enjoying the life.
And then you want other people to enjoy the life.
Yeah, but you don't want other people to enjoy their life. You're actively recruiting. They're always acting like a madam, as if it's their job.
No, but then
Runs Girl is just secondary. That's their side hustle. Their first hustle is luring girls into this.
Yes, because they get it cut. So yes, that's true. So that is why you differentiate somebody that's been initiated from someone that is initiating people.
Okay.
Because this might not necessarily be the madam, but this is someone that has gone out there. They are the hottest girl on campus, or it might not even be. This is just one person, or it could be a group of them. That is their job to go out
and lure innocent girls.
Look damn good at parties.
And it doesn't matter.
Cash, they're shopping.
It doesn't matter what era. Is it early 2000s? Huh? Of course, with the flipped bands,
with the feathers.
Yes.
Pick and drop.
Yes. With
your
multicolored clothes.
Are you okay?
Bolero jackets.
I look back on Bolero jackets now and I'm like, what?
Where were you thinking? And then we have the late 10s, of course, with the Brazilian weave.
With the lace, the very, very sharp lace fronts. I feel like the initiators are the ones that you'd look at and think those are the trendsetters. Those are the ones that are always they have to be up to date in fashion. They have to be the ones setting and following the trends. They have to be actively showcasing that lifestyle.
And then they
entice people in, like,
be like us.
This is what I do. Like, oh, you're going to a party just to go to a party.
Oh my God,
and there I get paid to be. Like, are you alright? A bit of Cardi B up in here. Like, so that's their job. That's their work.
The initiator, and the initiator can be, but often is Mercy Johnson.
Of course, yes. Very good at it.
Oh yes, Mercy Johnson, Chika Ike, the bad girls of the early 10s and the late 10s.
Nollywood, yes.
Oh yes, the bad bees.
Your Ini Edo, your Chika Ike.
Those were the ones.
Your where's that one that's the other person stunk of poverty now? Your Rita Dominics, your Benita Nzerebes.
You stink of poverty.
Are you blind? Are you sick or something? Ah! You want to join us to a party? I can see you don't know your class anymore. Where will you get out of this place? You stink with poverty.
Oh. Why did she approach them? Because they looked good, man. They looked good. They say me wanna be like you. I'm trying to be like you, fam. That's their job. That's what they're meant to do. Because you're not gonna see an initiator looking rough.
No,
why?
We want to be.
I don't want to be like you. Mm-hmm. So that's the initiator. And so obviously they're in the business as well. So they might not be like as deep or as low on the totem pole as the initiated.
And then we have the ingenue, the innocent.
Oh yes,
the choppy. They want to be initiated into this group. Now she's often innocent. At the beginning of the film, she dresses like what does she do? Long skirts. Maybe she goes to church. She's from a good home. She's been brought up well.
Usually she's in school to actually read book
and study. Oh guys, remember
stay in school, guys.
Stay in school, but anticipate this. We're going to be doing our own episode on campus movies. And campus movies and Runs Girls movies are very interlinked.
They go hand in hand.
But not always. But we'll discuss
that. Will you find Runs Girls in campus movies?
Yes.
But we always find Runs Girls all campus movies in there.
No, they're different. They're
diverse.
Different. Anyway, so she's the one to be lured either by hook or by crook. Sometimes she wants to be like, oh, how can I be like you? Or sometimes she's forced into it. Sometimes she's seduced into it. Sometimes
she doesn't. Sometimes she's so naive she doesn't know that is what's actually happening.
And then she's like,
to her. This is what you people do here. Amaka, this is what you do in the city.
Exactly. That's it. She's sometimes in some Runs movie, she's from the village. She's from the village and she's coming to stay with her cousin, her second cousin.
No. Like,
let me just stay with you while I get a job.
The initiated will drive into the village with her big car. Into car.
I'll take you to the city.
Mama, this is the way you are. No, that's not the way things are in the city.
I will take her back out to the city.
Don't worry, I will take her. We look after her.
And then
on that very first night, they're getting ready to go somewhere.
Exactly. Oh my God, that is just the plot of so many Runs Girls movies.
On that night, I've seen some like TikToks and stuff of people doing
doing
this scene because it's this one particular scene
iconic
where like maybe she goes to sleep or something because she's tired from her journey because she's weak. And then obviously the girl, first of all, her friends aren't calling her what you know her.
Oh no! Did we mention
Shidera?
The initiator also goes by a nice name.
Call me Derry.
Call me Love.
Call me Love.
Call me something. Chidera.
Something sweet.
No. They never answer native names. Which is a whole different conversation on how so English is thought to be high class and answering your native name is meant to be lower class. But in innocence, she always answers her.
She always answers her real name
until she
doesn't know yet.
Until she changes it to something like Cherry.
She doesn't know yet because you can't sweet talk Uzomaka. Come on now.
Uzo baby.
Uza baby. Or Uzu. Or Easy.
The name changes. But anyway, and then just like that, she's forced, she's seduced, she's
initiated.
She's initiated, and then we now start to see her journey as a runs person.
And then sometimes from that journey of her being initiated, she becomes an initiator.
Yes, and then that's that.
And then it's a cycle.
Until someone eventually dies.
Until something happens. That is just the way the cycle will continue. She came to school with her friend, but then she gets initiated, and then she comes across the friend at one point, and the friend's like, this is what you are now. So either the friend joins her,
or it's just the most annoying,
just so annoying friend. Like, I'm going. I was like, you're going out again. Well, we have class tomorrow. And so you go to class. You got to go to class.
We'll go to the prayer meeting. Let's go to church.
If anything, I will pass before you, because that's the job that I do. Come on now.
And then the madams can be anybody from Princess Zoko. Eukaria was a great madam. Eukaria was always good. Clarence Chukura, also a great madam. These are
gallant babes. Come on now.
These are advanced elders in the industry. Basically, the madam is the one. It could be a good madam, it could be a bad madam, but this is the person that's really controlling everything. This is the one that's providing the girls for chief.
Yes.
And sometimes I think most times the madam escapes unscathed.
Most of the time,
the madam escapes unscathed and lives to madam again another day.
Because who has become the madam? The veteran. There's levels to this thing. Come on now. This is a business.
And then we have to...
There's progression.
Not the most important character, but the character you cannot do without in this Runs movie is the chopper.
The chopped.
No, wait. They are the ones that are chopping.
Who is chopping?
The chiefs. The sheiks. The alajis.
They're chopping what? They're being chopped.
Okay, well, that's not what I've been using. That's not what I've been saying this entire podcast.
You have been wrong. You have to use it. Mary, you have to come from the feminist. As a feminist, how can you say that women are being chopped, Miriam?
All I'm saying is that eventually they get off scot-free.
Not all the time.
Why is
most of the
time?
The
thing is that the women are demonized, but the men are perfectly fine. That's
the problem.
Most of the time, they are the antagonists. They are the ones that are using the girls for rituals. They are the ones giving the girls STIs. They are the ones that are killing them for God knows what other reason. They come up trumps in the end. Okay, so that might just be me.
Yeah, but then
that would just be how I view sex work, as maybe someone taking advantage of someone else. And in this case, I feel like it is the Alaji, the chief, taking advantage of the girls. Because at your age, what are you doing with a girl that's 21?
Okay, at 21, why am I sleeping with men for free?
I mean, that's a good point.
This is not I'm not encouraging anything.
It seems like you are.
But I think that's the premise of these films. A lot of the time, that is what the initiator is saying. Like, why are you sleeping? Or like sometimes the initiated is following one small boy like this.
Oh yes,
and then the initiator is like, "Are you alright? What are you doing with this when you can be with chief? When you can be with Alhaji? When you can be with governor this or senator this or
when you can be living high life?
Come on now."
I just feel like because they are the ultimate winners, they are the choppers.
But then that's a problem though. Because by like what you're saying is like they are the choppers, but then they are the ones that are taking advantage of somebody else. That is not a positive character.
No.
So call them the chops.
But they are not being taken advantage of.
You cannot see me, but see me.
Again, it's a transactional relationship. Somebody gets
that is true.
So
it's
I don't
just
think
it's
there's
where
a chopper
it's whoever.
choppy.
There's a chop and a chopper, but we don't know. It's between. I guess it's what you earn.
Yeah, the weak, the weak are meat, and the strong do eat.
It depends on where you fall on the totem.
Exactly, but then.
So are you gonna tell me that the madam is being chopped? Are you okay?
Okay.
The madam is the chopper.
That's true, but they are not stealing from them.
Oh,
sometimes they are. Sometimes
that's
but then that gets into trouble. Then they get into trouble. But they aren't stealing from them. They are being provided payments for services rendered.
For services that they're providing.
But the chief, the Alaji, the Olodo / the Mumu is always...
Somebody called him a Dokpemu. I haven't heard that word in so long. And now it is back into my lexicon.
But they are the ones that exist to be the clientele.
Yes, the clientele.
Yes.
I feel like that is
Yes,
the character.
And
the
so
clientele.
many older gentlemen in Nollywood, that's just their job.
Marianne, there's truly some films that I can't watch with certain of these characters
Because they've
played this clientele
and it is
a little bit too realistically.
You're like, you're a good actor, but don't be that good.
Suspicious.
Yes, I agree. You have the small boy, the chewing gum boyfriend, the one that maybe is being deceived.
So annoying.
The one that's being deceived that, my girlfriend is in school, she's doing well, she's not sleeping with men for money, definitely not.
And his eyes are open.
And like, this is
what you do. I feel like that's a running phrase that you find.
This is what you do?
This is what you do.
I mean, come on,
what you came to the city to do.
Use your brain. She suddenly has money out of this and she doesn't have a job. She's out all at night. Come on, man. Use your brain.
Or maybe he's still in the village.
But yes, sometimes there are the small boys, the chewing gum boyfriends, and then sometimes there are the boys that the girls fall in love with and will do anything for. Sometimes it's a love story. I have named
them the savior.
Oh yes, there's the savior. Well, yes, some of them. Sometimes they can be the savior in that they will now save the girl from this horrible life. No, it is when the girl has been forced into it, when the girl has been seduced into it, or has actually jumped into it by herself. Ain't nobody saving you because she doesn't want to be saved. But when the girl has been forced into it, there's a savior, and then that's a different romantic trope within the Runs Girls movie. And then
I can't stand it personally.
I feel like they are few because sometimes I feel like some of these movies treat these girls as unredeemable.
Yes.
Like the girls, you have slept with different men, blah 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 blah. As if there's a number. You know what? Let's not.
That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation.
Oh, we've told you the plot. The innocent, the ingenue gets seduced, forced, jumps into it by herself, and then Runs Girls things happen, and then consequences. 3 acts. Ingenue seduced, Runs Girls shenanigans.
Bad girls doing bad girl things, you know?
Yes. And then consequences end. That's it. That's all. That's the thing.
That is a Runs Girls.
That's just a Runs Girls film. When we talk about tropes in the Runs Girls movie, I think we've mentioned a lot. We've mentioned the ingenue, the innocent. We've mentioned the innocent, the initiator. We've mentioned...
No, but I think those are the characters. I guess the tropes would be girl comes from village to city.
Innocent girl comes from village to city, or innocent girl comes from well brought home to university, or innocent girl just meets somebody else and be like, oh, I want to be like you. How do you do the things that you do? I will do it too.
Oh yeah, the eyes shaking like that.
Now let's talk about famous Runs Girls. No, not famous Runs Girls in the industry. Famous actresses that have played Runs Girls.
All of them. And
then, this is what I was saying. This is what I have been thinking, yeah. I feel like some of these new Nollywood actresses, they haven't earned their stripes. They haven't gone through the Runs Girls role.
I feel like, they haven't gone. I feel like there's certain characters that you feel like you have to play.
Yes, to be an established actress.
The Runs Girl,
definitely,
and then the touts.
The touts.
If you've not played the touts, please don't talk to me.
The poor girl in a love story. The rich girl.
You know,
you have to. These 4 roles.
Like you have to. Then I know that you're diverse, because if you're always constantly playing, I'm the rich person,
and especially these new Nollywood films,
I'm so glitzy and so glamour. I'm like, okay, this is a bit boring now. It's a bit boring.
Old Nollywood actresses did it. They all were first of all, when they first started, they are the ingenue, and then they become the initiator or the veteran.
Very true.
And then as you age more, you become the madam. What I'm just saying is that sometimes it is hard to accept these new Nollywood actresses because I'm so used to all Nollywood actresses having gone through
these specific roles.
Yes, I've watched them develop basically. While in the new Nollywood show, she might be just the best at acting, but to me, because there's not that sense of familiarity, I've not seen her in a familiar role. Then
in roles that we expect,
but. Of course, the best bad bitches of those days, Inie Mercy Johnson, Rita
Mercy Johnson will play the crap
out of her own scale. She could play any role and it will just work. Oh, and I think that's why she's so beloved. I'm so sorry, but I just feel like there is some kind of relationship between playing Ron's girl role and being popular, being iconic.
Again, it's a fairly easy role to play, Marianne.
I think it's because of the fashion. I think it's because of the glamour.
Oh yeah.
Because when you play that,
because when you play a Run's girl role, that you are playing a very trendy,
very happening babe.
Yeah, which translates into
real life
being trendy and happening.
Which is why I mean, like Genevieve Sharon Stone, was she in Domitila?
Genevieve, I don't think so.
But she was in them.
Kate Henshaw was in Dumpty.
Yeah, exactly. Kate Henshaw. You know, all these babes were babes, and then they became icons.
But I mean, you haven't given these. Look at me defending new Nollywood. It tastes weird in my mouth. But they haven't had the time to become iconic because they're only new now. So there are people like Mercy Johnson, so like they've been in the business for 20 odd years. They've been around, and because they've been around for so long, I respect them more. So if you tell me, oh, I have a someone in a movie and I can either put awful makeup on this one girl to make her look older, or hire somebody that I know can do the job properly, is that why are we having this conversation? Because you've answered yourself. Are you okay?
Yes.
But it's something that you see.
Yes. So
it's a because we're used to these films, and there was probably an era where these films were being mass produced, churned out.
I just need you to do an experiment. Go to YouTube, type in Ron's Girls movie.
Even on Google, I mean, be careful on Google, because
and you will get something.
It depends on your wording.
Yes,
but there's so many. There's so many,
and they're so old. And even Patience Uzokwa has been a Ron's girl.
Of course, yes.
In her early career, I think she was maybe in Glamour. I just feel like all the famous bad bitches, all the actresses that we respect now, have all played that role and have iconized themselves through those roles. That's because true. They were just trendy. Because it's either Ron's girl or Campus, and that's how they crystallize themselves as iconic people.
But then, don't you think that that's simply because those are the kind of movies that they were doing at that time?
I mean, that's true. Yes, there was a trend. Oh, and Nollywood loves a trend.
Oh yes,
Nollywood loves a trend. When there's a trend,
and there's like a good, you have like one good film.
And then
it's a great film, and it's like
50 other. No, 50. That's not
like
you've seen it before. Others.
You can see it again.
And foolish us, we will still be watching.
We'll watch them because we're there for the glitz, we're there for the glamour, we're there for the. I mean, and then you're having to tell yourself that yes, this is a very this is a trendy girl, and she's doing good. Big things, and she has all these things, and she has all these material things, but then you have to remind yourself, I guess, of what you can and can't do, or what you're willing and what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. If you're willing to go into that life and progress and succeed at it, your life is your life.
Well,
are there consequences? No.
I don't think the filmmakers are being very sex worker positive when they make these films.
Who is sex worker positive exactly?
Some people.
And it's a popular opinion.
Should be.
It's not. So, oh, that got dark.
Yeah. But then let's talk about morality. Let's talk about consequences and morality. Because in a Ron's Girl film, there will always be consequences. You will die. You will either die by rituals. The chief is using you for rituals. The chief has taken your destiny. You will run mad. Like in White Hunters. You will run mad. You will get an STI and an STD.
I know the film, and I'm so grossed out by actually saying it.
What?
I don't know what the name of the film is, but they're the ones that like they catered to a certain type of activity, and because they were catering to that specific type of activity, their physiology
Changed.
was no longer as effective
What in God's name are you saying?
as it should be.
Did you feminism? I don't understand what you're saying.
I can't say it.
Okay, so let's move swiftly along. I don't know what she's talking about, and if you understood that, good for you.
I'll say one word: leakage.
Oh jeez. Oh yes, there's also, as I said, STIs, and there's also genital related things. You know, you just have a disease that makes you unpleasant, or makes it unpleasant for people to be around you. And it can be anything. Sometimes your leg will swell, your head will swell, and this will swell, and that will swell. They will do the practical effects. We're eating it in those days, you know.
They will also do the genuine consequences, especially that comes with that lack of education.
Yes.
Of you get pregnant, you have abortion. Get pregnant, have abortion. Get pregnant, have abortion.
Yes, I forgot. We didn't even mention abortions.
You will have so many abortions, and now you can't have children.
Oh, boo-hoo, you failed as a woman. But I'm just saying, you've lost your ability to give birth to children. Oh, the worst thing that can happen.
I mean, that's its own genre of film.
There are always consequences to the lifestyle. No matter how funny, no matter how glamorous, no matter how trendy, no matter how exciting the Runs Girl era was, at the end, the consequences are always bad. Always bad.
That's true. That is true. And there's so many of the consequences.
So many consequences.
And I feel like that's sort of what.
Sometimes you run mad.
That sort of diversifies the films a bit, where it depends on the type of film. So if it's like your Runs Girl in campus, it's you fail, you get shot, you get killed. It has something to do with cults, has something to do with drugs, has something to do with the police. You get deported, you go to another country, and you're doing Runs Girl in another person's country. Yeah. And then you're shocked when they deport you for drugs. Are you okay?
But I just feel like it is just a way of establishing morality. Whatever happens, you're going to be brought down to the bottom. So don't do it.
Don't do it. I mean,
some people gum on their eyes and only see the glitter and glamour though. And then I always think, some people that, this sounds bad, but I always think to some people, don't you watch Nollywood movies? Don't you know what happened?
Because it doesn't. Nollywood is, yes, these are things that happen, but Nollywood is throwing this at you en masse and telling you that this is what will happen to every single person, but it's not.
I'm just saying that some people do some actions and I'm like, girl, watch a Nollywood movie, man. It's not gonna end well. But maybe I'm the only one that uses Nollywood movies as a guide for my life. Let's talk about the more darker aspects of the lifestyle. Things like trafficking. Like in those days, if they say, I'm going to Italy, it used to mean something. It used to mean something good, man. It used to mean you're being trafficked for sex work or prostitution or something.
I've never heard that.
Really? That's why I'll be asking, haven't you watched a Nollywood movie? Your auntie that lives in Italy, that has a luxurious life there, says, I will bring my niece to Italy. And I'm like, watch a Nollywood movie, girl. Don't go. Don't go. Anyway, so sometimes these movies talk about sex trafficking, but the old Nollywood movies, yes, they didn't really delve into like the realistic, I want to say, the much more realistic aspects, the darker aspects of the lifestyle, drugs. It's not Jim Ike taking a sniff of talc powder and be like, oh yeah, man, this some good shit, man. No. Like, they don't actually ever go into like drug use and how prevalent it is
in that lifestyle,
how dangerous. So I think to be moralistic in the way that Nigerians love to be moralistic, they actually don't portray the actual realistic downsides to the lifestyle. Sex trafficking, exploitation,
those particular movies are few and far between.
Yes,
the actual like quote unquote accurate portrayal of what you will likely get into, especially if you get into the bad side of it.
Yeah, and often and then this is the thing, it's not always glamorous.
Yeah, but then who wants to watch a film that's not glamorous?
Okay.
So we discussed this before when we talked about like historicals and history and the responsibility that you put on Nollywood to educate.
I still think
so. You put a lot of responsibility on our entertainment network or our entertainment our entertainment industry to educate and to teach life lessons and to inform,
because that's what they do.
That's what they do. But then the soul, you can't then say, oh yes, you've done this and you've shown this, however you weren't graphic enough with it, or you didn't give enough information, or you didn't delve into it as much as I wanted you to, or as much as you could have done. Where there's other films that do that, where they look at the really very negative aspects, where one film might be just, this is glamorous, this is a non-film, this is a non-plottable film, I'm just showing it to you for you to watch it and enjoy it.
Yes.
Whereas another film will be, this is a
education.
cautionary tale of this person did this and these are the consequences to those actions. So do your expectations for all films to be cautionary tales and educationary tales and life lessons and all of that stuff? I don't think that's fair to Nollywood.
I think it should, but I agree that it might not be fair to Nollywood.
It needs to be entertaining and glitz and glamour. That's why we love those films.
We do love them. We love them so much.
Why? Did you see? You are a contradiction. Because you love the entertainment side of it,
yes,
while still expecting the film to educate you.
Yes, it can do both.
No, can't have it both ways, my love.
Let's move on. And let's talk about New Nollywood. New Nollywood when it comes to Ron's movies. Now, again, we run into this distinction. What's New Nollywood? Is it things that are on cinemas, on YouTube, on Netflix, on Prime? Or is it just a date thing? We run into that distinction all the time. And I think that if you look on YouTube and the Asaba made movies, it's not as much. They're telling other stories, a lot more stories. It's not as popular as it used to be, but they're still Ron's Girls movies.
Yeah, because they're easy to make.
I don't think they're easy to make now, because now there's a bigger standard of what looks good, what is fashionable. You now need to have the budget to do it, because nowadays, when it comes to being dressed nice, you need to have the Brazilian wig, the bone straight, all those things that we now see as trendy. As opposed to those days, you were the one setting the trend. You were the one setting what was hip to wear. But nowadays, with social media, with everything, we know what's hip.
You have the influencers that are already doing.
You have the influencers that already.
You have
yes,
to match that.
It is not as easy to make that kind of film anymore. I don't even feel like there's a desire to make that film as much anymore, because how do I say this?
Feminism.
Yes. Yeah. Let's put it that way, because
feminism. Yeah, that's why I was saying how she wants them to go through this, or she wants to see these kind of films again. But I don't think that these kind of films will be as popular.
Yeah. The thing is, these kind of films, they don't do anything.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that nowadays, when they're making a Nollywood film, they are planning to do something. They want to say something.
Ron's Girl film is not going to say anything.
And a Ron's Girl film is not going to say anything. Well,
unless it's something like you said, Olatere,
yes,
we are delving in deep.
Or like Glamour Girls. So you like the glitz glamour, but you have to admit that for them to achieve that glitz and glamour, the locations, they now have to go above and beyond, and you can't get those kind of, like, who's thinking the city in Onitsha or the city in Asaba is good?
Well, it's what it looks like.
When you can go online and you can see Dubai, I can see Cancun. I'm just saying that now, New Nollywood, there's no need for Ron's Girl stories. Anymore.
God,
there's just no need. There are so many other stories that
I feel like there's other things that you can do. So it will be a story about an influencer doing this.
About but of course the Ron's Girl influence, the idea of this transactional relationship will
always gonna be
I think that's just life. Okay, now let's talk about recommendations. As we said, they don't do it so much in New Nollywood. New Nollywood, off the top of my head, the ones I can think about is Olatere and Olatere is not in the same vibe. Shantytown had a lot of runs girl. No, I think those were actually
I think those were just
prostitutes. Yes. Glamour girls.
What is the distinction? I feel like sometimes the distinction between a runs girl and a prostitute is the control that she has.
Yes.
And the power that she has.
Yes.
So a runs girl has a bit
more power than the prostitute. The prostitute usually has pimps that'll be beating her. And, you know, they happen a lot in Nollywood stories. Because would you say that it is very widespread in Nigeria? None of us are qualified to talk about this because it's been a while since we've been to Nigeria.
But you can see it though.
Yes.
On social media.
Yeah, you see it on social media, this whole hookup thing, everybody is doing hookup. And it's very normalized and very like, okay, this is just what's happening. That's what people are doing. And then we see it in influencers as well. Yeah. Actresses, some people are this low-level actress, all of a sudden she has the money to buy a Jeep. Girl.
Marianne, maybe she's working very hard for her
behind
money.
the scenes. Girl, influencers, celebs. I think like a lot of online that we see nowadays are talking about hookup, talking about runs, coded things, all these things that are happening. Do you feel like it is a consequence of the Runs Girls movies that we're indoctrinated with in our good days of Nollywood? Or do you think they were just seeing what was around them and just making it?
Yes.
You have not answered my question.
I think it's a
chicken and egg situation.
So I think when life will influence what you're seeing on... what am I trying to say? So films and entertainment will influence what is going on in the world. But also what's going on in the world will definitely influence what people want to see or people can think of in their head and think of.
And I think that because of social media, we have this unfettered view to how other people live. So
unfettered suggests that it's true and that is how they actually live.
No. What I mean is that because of social media, we are now seeing, this person, these are Dubai girls.
No, but then we are seeing what they want us to
escort. See. No, what I'm saying is that it's now more prevalent. Like on your social media, even if you're just going through the celebrity blogs, you're seeing things like, this girl did this, that situation happened then. So the culture is a bit more open to everyone, and maybe that's what caused the fatigue in Runs Girls stories. But let's go to recommendations. Number 1, Pretty Little Liars.
It's a great
film. Nigerian movie.
It's very funny.
It's so memeable. It is so memeable, guys. It is hilarious. White Hunters. A whitey. And most of the guys in that film were not white.
They were like Asian-y,
Arabic. I think one was even mixed race.
Though, because why? If you're black,
nothing for you. The end of that film was... Woo! No, Mr. Johnson's an icon, and she is the moment. Just serving.
Also, Gallant Babes has Mr. Johnson in it. And I think that one was actually... So she was Mr. Johnson was the main Runs Girl initiator person. And I think she was in love with a nobody as well as doing her Runs Girl film. But then the nobody was in love with somebody else.
It was very nice. But just know that it's a good film. It's good. And just, if you're in the mood for it, just type in
Runs Girls films.
Yeah, I guess.
Nigerian Runs Girls film.
Blackberry Babes. Remember Blackberry Babes? That was a Runs Girls film. Except they were doing the runs for Blackberries.
Via Blackberry.
There's so
many. For Blackberries or via the Blackberries?
Both. And if you didn't have a Blackberry, then you just want to get it. Oh God, those films were slightly problematic, but also really great. So, thanks for listening to us yarn about one of our favorite genres of Nollywood, the ones that we personally enjoy. Any parting words?
My parting word is this: our opinion of like the entertainment side of this lifestyle, I guess.
Yes,
and it doesn't necessarily portray how we feel about these things in real life because this is not the
platform.
This is not the platform for it.
Yes.
We're here to make you laugh. We're here to
entertain.
And we are entertained by Runs Girls films, and we will entertain you with our entertainment of Runs Girls films.
Thanks for listening. Catch you in the next episode. I've decided that's my catchphrase now. Catch you in the next... What do you want me to say?
So just say bye.
Okay. Well, I'll see you in the next episode. I have a great guest coming up. Bye.
Bye.